Hi, Aries Sun and Rising. Welcome to your April 2023 Astro Update. It's Raina here. Well, you're going to have a solar eclipse in the month of April in your sign. A solar eclipse is a powerful new moon, and it's at the 29th degree and 15 minutes of Aries. This is the second new moon in Aries, but of course, because it's a solar eclipse, it's that much more powerful. But I almost feel like it's a full moon in a way because it is at such a late degree of Aries, and so it's kind of like these two new moons are like bookmarks for us, all of us, but for Aries people, the 0 degrees and then the 29th degree, and it's punctuated, in this time frame of the astrological new year having begun in March, and that new moon occurring the day after that. So let's just start from the beginning of the month. Obviously, the sun is in your sign as the month begins, and I'm recording this even before the sun goes into Aries. I'm recording this in March, so happy birthday to all Aries people. And that can feel very revitalizing to have the sun in your first house. But remember, too, that Jupiter is in your house, your first house in Aries. So that just kind of enhances the positive vibes, can make you feel more optimistic about life. Not that Aries people need any of that because you tend to be that way already. On the third of the month, Mercury goes into Taurus, so Mercury has been in Aries as well. Um, and also Chiron is in Aries, so that's a loaded first house for Aries to be contending with. And then, but on the third, Mercury goes into Taurus, and this is your second house of earned income. So you may have your mind on financial matters, on practical matters. This is an earth house. But actually, the second house is also the house of self worth. So sometimes when people get wrapped up in material matters, uh, they forget about the ultimate um, part of us, which is not the physical part, the net worth that we have, but our self worth, and that can come into play, especially since you do have so many planets in the first house. Um, this may be a time when you're really, in terms of how you make money, you're really feeling like you want to do things that make you feel good about yourself. And sometimes it's as simple as things that you feel that you're talented in. If you feel like your talents are squandered in what you're doing, you may be like, I'll even take a pay cut because I'll be able to do what I love. And sometimes you never know how that'll turn out because you may, find some way to actually make more money and have it be like positive on every level. On the 6th, we have a full moon at 16 degrees of Libra. That's in that seventh house of committed partnership where you're going to see a solar eclipse for the first time in this Aries Libra cycle on the uh, 14th of October. Now, I know that's far in advance, but the reason that that could be important is that this could be kind of hinting at whatever happens at that time. A full moon in the seventh house can mean that you realize something about your partner. Now, this could be even a secret that comes out. This could be for some people that one of you has had enough. The relationship has gone as far as it can. Other people may be deciding to tie the knot, even because um, but especially I would say if you've been living together and you want that additional symbol of commitment. this is the house of public relations, so this can put you somehow in a place where you advance yourself if you're trying to promote yourself somehow. And all those planets in the first house, especially Jupiter, can also make you, put you on the radar. On the 11th, Venus goes into Gemini. This is a friendly angle to you called a sextile. That's from the third house. So Venus in the third can be anything, uh, making money through social media, the internet in general, um, finding love through the internet, having harmonious relationships with your siblings, um, aunts, uncles, cousins, perhaps, neighbors, cooperative experiences with neighbors. On the 19th, uh, there's a solar eclipse. Well, I'm going to say, I was just checking this out because I assumed it was on the 20th. And it is for, if you live on the East Coast or overseas in Europe and elsewhere, this will be on the 20th for you, but for the rest of us, it's going to be on the 19th. So, whatever, it's like really late on the 19th. But this is at 29 degrees 52 minutes in your first house. Solar eclipse, very powerful new moon, new beginnings, but there's some kind of, since it's such a late degree, it's a culminating effect. So it's possible that if you started something last month, that you see the fruits of it that quickly, but also, and usually I say that about full moons, but um, opening doors, having a lot of doors open, but almost like kind of speeding up the process because it's magnified in that sense. And so, this could be in any area of life as well. But what's interesting, that is my time zone, Central Standard Time. It's going to be like 11 something at night. And then a few hours later, like at 4 in the morning, my time, the sun goes into Taurus because that solar eclipse is a very late degree of Aries. So then you have the sun going into a new sign. So suffice it to say, this is a very powerful period. And then the next day is Mercury retrograding at 15 degrees of Taurus. So that's in your second house, just like the sun goes into that second house. So your money situation is becoming more front and center in the month of April. And of course, this is not unusual because personal planets can be in, uh, Taurus. That's not, and this is actually that Mercury retrograde is going to be fairly close to Uranus. So this could be something where there could be a financial surprise, and it may delay funds, or you could see your funds, like a reversal. But remember that this is temporary. Don't, freak out, and something might need an adjustment or might need more attention. But that doesn't mean that all is lost, because remember, or I'm going to tell you that Jupiter's going into Taurus. It's in May. So you are going to have financial blessings, or at least the potential for them with Jupiter going into this area next month. And all month long, you are having Mars in Cancer. So remember that in March, finally, we had an end to Mars in Gemini, which is your third house. So it's interesting that Venus is going into Gemini on April 11th, because Mars in a particular house can indicate some kind of disharmony. So maybe you have smoothed something out that is third house related, and now Mars is in that fourth house throughout the month. It went in there March 25th. And so maybe if there was something going on with, maybe you had some battle with neighbors about wanting to renovate your home, now you're going to do it. Like if they were afraid of the noise or something along those lines, or zone, or where is the property line and things like that. Now it's like full steam ahead. Um, this could be like, or even like, the Mars in the third house could be a battle with with the local officials and something like that. And now it seems like it is full steam ahead. Watch out for fights with your mother, or if if the father represents the fourth house to you, your family of origin. Um, Mars is in a as a water sign, so that can be very emotional and it squares you off. So with Aries, Aries, that's your ruler, Mars. So here sometimes you might be kind of combative in a certain sense. And sometimes Aries people, I feel like they're perceived as combative because, first of all, you are naturally aggressive. And so people may misunderstand that, but also you're very impatient. So you want things kind of happening, when you want them. And, learning to be more patient and passive, even sometimes, and not just always having to kind of start something, but kind of sitting back and letting things come to you. That sometimes is the better route to take, but it's not always that easy, is it? So yeah, that's what is happening for you. I think this will be a very significant month for um, Aries people, because this is going to be the last month. Well, I think Jupiter will probably go back into Aries. That's what I'm feeling. I don't know that for sure, but in any case, um, you will see Jupiter leave your sign in May, and you just have so much emphasis on that first house. So there could be a lot of new beginnings happening for you. All right, that's what I have for you. I hope that you enjoyed this. If you would like a private reading, I'm promoting my double readings called my deep dive readings, an hour of natal chart analysis, an hour of transits for a special price. And I also have a tarot version of that with the natal chart interpretation. That one's called the whole enchilada. I have standalone readings too. You can find out more information at the link below. I'm at rainamoonastrology.com. Thanks for listening. Take care. Bye.